everyone, welcome to the second tutorial of this Excel dashboard. So today we're going to actually make a completion of the tutorial. So this is what we stopped in the previous video, which is the first video. If you've not watched how we actually created all this, you can actually go ahead and actually learn how we did this by clicking on the first video in the suggestion box or on the link we have beneath this particular description. So I'm going to get this off now because I don't need it. But before we start anything, I'm going to show you the complete dashboard. So here is our complete dashboard. It's very dynamic. As you can see, if I click right here, what's going to happen? It's going to bring under filter, and this filter will also filter is visual right here. I can actually see, okay, I want to see live, I want to see the successful money being actually sent, and I want to see failed. I'm going to show you what the data set is all about in a jiffy, but I just want to talk you through the dashboard first. Okay, now if I actually click on this, it's going to actually bring under filter that is only peculiar to this particular visual we have right here. Okay, I want to see the total project launched in 2012 or 2011, 10, whatsoever you want to choose. Now it shows you just this particular project, and if you want to go for 2019, it shows, sorry, 2009, it shows you, and we have the highest right here, and you're done with it. You can actually click right here and it's gone. Oh, what about the beautiful aspect of the dashboard, the filter that filter the whole dashboard? So click right here and you're gonna see a filter that just popped out that actually filters the whole dashboard. So you can click the filter, or if you have a filter already on it, and reuse the filter again. So I want to go by the comics or project category. So now the whole dashboard gets filtered. If you want to go by dance again, the whole dashboard will get filtered automatically again. This is exactly what it is. So now I can actually hide my filter again from the view. So now the filter is being hidden. So there is another filter that filters for this particular part of the dashboard, and I'm going to step you through to see what this is all about. But before then, let me have clicked. So if I have this clicked, what is going to happen is that we have another filter again. So this filter is just showing New Zealand. If I want to see Canada or Australia, I can actually click on it, and this gets to change, and it shows us what we have right here. So if you don't really know what is going on right on this particular dashboard right now, you might want to know what it is. This is the only thing you can do. I have what I call Take It All, which I had actually made a tutorial about. I'm going to give you a link to go to how to learn Take It All and take advantage of that in your own dashboard. So once you click it, you can see keep clicking it has gotten activated, and we have about the dashboard, so you can read and get to know about the dashboard. Like Kick Our Startup Project is a dashboard that shows the insight on the money solicited for projects. There are goals set for every project, amount needed, and bakers pledged for various countries to bring the project to life before the deadline. So if I click again, I'm going to next to the particular next one, which is going to tell us about this particular chart right here with the percentages. And if I click again, we're going to come right here, and it tells us that this arrow actually gives us a filter if we have it clicked, just like what we have done in the previous part of the video. So now if I click again, it takes us to this visual and tells us about what it is all about. And if I click on next again, now this two visual is going to be discussed, and actually that is exactly what we have right here. So you can have yours customized just like what we have right here. Now we have different interactivity right here. I'm going to click again, I'm going to go to next, and it's giving us that, oh, this very filter the whole dashboard. So click on it and you're going to have it revealed, and this is in that one is telling us about this particular chart we have right here. And if I hit on next, is the last field is the last Take It All, and what it does right now is that if I click this is going to disappear, nothing more again, and it's going to actually bring the activation of Take It All again, and click on next will disappear as well. So watch me do it. So this is what I'm talking about. It's gone. So this is a very huge functionality I want to show you how to create in Excel. So if you're here for the first time, all you just have to do right now is just for you to hit the subscribe button and follow me step by step on how I create this. Okay, now as I've shown you in the previous one, we have just created something, and I'm going to show you how to take advantage of this video to learn something amazing to help you in your own personal dashboard. So what we are learning right here today might not be something that is peculiar to what you really want, but the idea generated here can actually make you to work and do something very, very nicely. Okay, let us go back to our main work right here. Okay, previously we have just created this, and we are going to continue this today. Okay, before we actually go ahead and do anything, let me talk you through the data that is peculiar to this dashboard creation. So now we have the name of the project that is being started, and we have not really started that we want to start. Then we have the launch date, and we have the deadline. So the project was launched this particular date, and the deadline is this. We need this particular money to continue to start the project, but the money is not really there right now, so we want the money. Some persons pledged this amount of money, and we can see how many persons pledged. That is what we call bakers. Bakers are the numbers of people that pledged the money we needed, and if we meet the need of, or if we miss the amount we needed, it's going to give us successful right here, and if not, it's going to give us fail. And we have fail, successful, and where we have fail, you can see all about that. And we have the okay, I just extracted this for a particular reason. So now what we need to do right now is just for we to go back to our dashboard and see the first visual we're going to be creating. This is the first visual we're going to be creating, and let's see what it is that we have to show. By going to the previous dashboard right now, you can see we show deadline year and total field. So now if I actually click on the filter again, I'm gonna have this particular okay. Now I will change total field, so I want to see how many are canceled at the deadline year. So you can see in 2009 our deadline year, no cancellation, we have 7, we have 14, we have 19 down to we have 14 right here. And if we want to see how many are still live, if there is any, or I think there is successful, we can check on it. Successful. Now there is no successful in this particular filter. This is working with the filter we have right here, the biggest filter we have right here, based on what we have selected is working on it. So now if I activate the filter right now, maybe we might have some numbers that will come up because the filter is been removed. Oh, nicely, we have the filter removed, and yes, we have some numbers, right? This is exactly what it is. So we want to have some interactivity like this. So let me just go ahead and create something beautiful just like what we have right here. Alright, the first thing we're gonna do right now is for we to actually go to our data. So after we have seen our data, just click inside it and create a first pivot table. We're going to be mixing formulas with pivot table to make it very dynamic the way we wanted it. So I'm going to go to insert, and we have to use this particular pivot table. And the recommended pivot table right here is just for a beginner. If you don't know what you want to create, you can click on this and it's going to generate it automatically for you. But because we are just good at what we do, we don't need to do that. So understand what happens right here. If I click on this, but if I leave it on this new sheet or new worksheet right here and actually click on OK, it's going to open another tab for me. Should I call it tab or that sheet for me, whatsoever? I don't want that, so I need an existing sheet. So I want to use this my analysis sheet right here, and this time around I'm going to actually have to bring this. Yes, actually I'm going to make sure I have this right here, and I click OK. Now what we want to analyze is that how many projects we have are successful, unsuccessful, and actually still live in this particular year of the deadline. So I'm gonna bring the deadline year right here. Okay, now we have deadline year right here plus the date. So if I click on this particular plus sign, it's gonna actually open the quarter. If I click right here, it's gonna give us the month. So I don't really want the months and the quarter. I'm gonna get them off from here. So now they are gone, so we have them any longer. And the next thing I'm going to do right now, I'm going to bring status to the top level right here. So we have status across of it. Okay, fine, we are actually there. And for now, I want to get a count of the status. I'll bring it down. I can see how many project got failed in 2009, and in the remaining year we don't have any projects that actually got failed. So right now we can see we don't have any project here that got suspended right here. So where we have some numbers, we have it. So now I want to actually format this a little bit, though the formatting does not really concern what we're doing, but it makes our work very crispy and nice looking. So I'm going to click at the top level right here and go to design, and from design I want to turn off the grand total. So watch me do it. I'm going to go for grand total. I'm going to turn it off. So that is gone. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is that this raw label will not make us to read what is going on right here. Should somebody is coming to this particular dashboard for the first time, the person will understand what we have done right here, because he or she doesn't understand what is here. So clicking back on it, I'm going to actually still click on my design, and I'm going to go to my report, and I say, okay, turn this to a tabular form, and look what happens. So now nicely we have a very good dashboard. Good pivot table created. So now the next thing I'm going to do is for me to actually highlight the whole top of it right here and give it a nice color to stand out from the rest of the chair. So I'm gonna give it white. Now I have something nicely like this, right? Okay, we're gonna have to create a very interactivity dashboard right now. So what we need to do is to go back to this particular dashboard expert and actually insert a particular uh, card, right? Yeah, we can insert this particular rectangular. So I'm gonna actually have to drag it down right here and make it some kind of bigger. So I think I'm good. I'm cool with this. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna change the color. So I'll change the color, then go to fill and make this to be on gray. And something a gray like this is really cool. If I don't feel good with that, I can actually choose this. But I think I'll be the first gray I actually choose. So now I'm gonna have to close this and come to this line. You can see some blue line. We have some blue line on it. I don't really want any outline on it. I'm gonna actually turn the outline off, and that is all. We just also have to close this, and we're good at what we're doing. So right now we have something beautiful like this. So what we wanted to create is the buttons that actually help us to switch between a particular cancellation, failed, live, and down to suspend. And we want to see how many are there. It's just 5, right? Okay, fine. Go back, and now actually go to this particular developer right here. If you don't have a developer, it's gonna be a little problem. So you need to have this. But before we go for that, I want to show you something. This is how I save my work. I'm gonna go to save, and from save, because already I've saved this work, I'm gonna go to save as. So if I click save as, and if you want to save this, you save it to any particular folder you feel like. I'm gonna save it to dashboard, and once it's saved, box comes up. So right now, here we go. Now I used to save my work as Excel macro enable, because I want to write some little macro to actually make the work some kind of stand out from the rest of other dashboard we have on the internet. So I'm going to choose this particular macro enable, but as a default, this is what we have. We have Excel workbook. If we have Excel workbook and we write macro, it's not going to work until we turn it to macro enable workbook. That is why I always use this. And you can name your project anything you like. Please do this if you're actually following up. I believe you must have actually gotten this downloaded. If you have not, share your email ID. I'm gonna have to send this to you, then you can actually start working on it straight up. So now we can actually click on save. Already I've saved. I'm gonna cancel. I just want to show you that. So now we are back right here again. So click right here and go to your developer. If you don't have a developer, click on any of this particular top level right here and actually click on customize ribbon. And once you've done that, you're gonna see this, and your developer is going to remain like this, which means it's not going to be actually checked. So just check it and hit on OK, and there you have it. So if you come to the top level right here, you're going to have your developer here. So nicely we have just got our developer. So after you click on your developer, you're going to see this insert. Just click on the insert and you see this form control and ActiveX control. Don't go for this except you want to write VBA to actually get what you want done to work. So but we're going to be using this in some subsequent video. If you want to know how to use this, just don't worry, hit the subscribe button and stay with me to see how we can actually make advantage of all these particular tools right here. So this is what we need right now, is the option button. You know what the option button does? You can pick one option and the other option get deactivated. So now I'm going to drop this right here. This is our first option button that we are going to be creating. So once we have just done this, we'll have to change this, but we have to go hierarchically the way this are actually set. So I'm going to actually go for this first. For now, I'm going to put on my formula bar, go to view, and have the formula bar turned on. So now I have the formula bar at the top right here. So I can actually go ahead and copy from here, and just Control C can actually help you do that as well beautifully. So now what I need to do is just for me to highlight this particular aspect and actually click on Control V, and it's going to help me paste it down right here. So that's beautiful. So we're going to do that to every part of the dashboard. So what you need to do now is just for you to duplicate this. So duplicate this into 5 because we need 5 of it. So just have it duplicated into 5. Okay, I think there's the last one. So beautiful. So now we can do the whole stuff. Okay, beautifully, we have just got something like this achieved, and you see what we have right here. And now we need some kind of interactivity. I told you that. So I'm gonna go to the top level right here and hit on insert and go for a button that I'm gonna actually be creating. I'm gonna pick on this and actually have it right here, and we can change the color to whatever we wanted. I'm gonna go right here and actually make the color to be some kind of gray. Okay, I think I love this color. So no, so okay. I'm gonna go for solid color, and I'm gonna give it this particular nice color to go with, and I'm gonna go to the fill part of it. I'm gonna choose something like this. Okay, something like this. So now I can have text inside it. I'm gonna say back. Okay, it's gonna be back. So once I have my back right here, I think my back should be a capital letter from the first heading of the letter. So back, and I'm gonna actually have to align it center. I'm gonna go to the top and hit on this particular sorry for that, bold, and make sure I centralize it. And I have a button right here that goes along with what I really wanted, so I can actually make this as a button. So forget about it formatting for now. We just code it with this. I think it's okay. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna highlight everything together right here. I'm gonna highlight all of them, and I'm gonna make them as one. So follow every single thing I do is what's gonna actually work for us. So I can actually group it together, and now that I've grouped it together, is actually moving all together. And when the time comes for us to actually start to or get this inside and bring it out again, we're gonna have an error right here. But for now, we are going to work with this. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna make sure I highlight this alone, and once I've done that, I'm gonna click on this particular font control right here, which I've just done, and I'm gonna make it this particular 3D. If you feel like it's optional, it's not really actually reflecting anything, and I want to keep this one checked. If you want to keep it unchecked, you can actually go ahead and do that, but I want to keep the first one checked, and I have to go back to the analysis page. And what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna deselect this and have this deselect. Okay, fine. I have this pin right here, and I'm gonna click OK. So fine, if I go back right now, I'm gonna see one. That is the first one we have clicked. If I do this again, I'm gonna see two. So beautiful. And if I click on the last one, it's gonna give me the last number right here. So that is the fifth one. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is what we want to pick. So right now, let me show you one particular aspect of this beautiful pivot table that you might have not noticed before. So if I right click on it right now, I'm going to go for option. So what I'm going to do right now is that every single place, every single cells we have empty, we don't want to leave it like this because it makes this particular analysis very ugly. So we want to have 0 right there. So just say anywhere we have empty cells, just show 0, and I'm gonna say okay. And now beautiful, it's okay right now. This is how you should do things. Or you might feel like you want to put some kind of text right there, no value whatsoever. You can have it there. It will work. It will work, and it will not distort your analysis. So right now that we've done this, what's the next step we're gonna actually take to actually get this done? So the first thing I'm going to take is for me to actually see what is that we have selected, and I'm going to be needing the month and the year. So I'm going to bring it down right here. So now I'm going to drag this down to the end because this is what we're going to be using for a chart. So we have this beautiful right here. So I'm going to clear this away from here, and I'll make sure this comes down here. Okay, nice. So the next thing right now, I want to see what particular selection have we made. I'm going to be using index for that. Index. So what index does is that it's looking for the array, and the array is this is what we are looking for. Okay, the next thing we're going to be doing now is go for the row number. So what is the row number? Okay, the row number is going to be this 5. We're going to provide this for the row number, and we don't have to do anything again. We just have to close it. We are code this, and if I hit enter, it says that we have selected suspended, which is the last one. If I go for the first one, I'm going to click on 1, and it's going to change the nomenclature. That is what the button does right here. The button helps us to actually click through. When we click through, it gives us what is being chosen, and it gives us right here. So what about the value that is actually peculiar to this particular number or to field? So we can actually do that by using what we call offset function. Offset function is a very cool function that you can actually use to move from row to row, from column to column whatsoever. Now what we need to do is to just give it a reference. So what is the reference we're going to give to it? So we want something from 2009. I'm going to start from here, and that is the first reference I'm going to give to it. If I put my comma right now, what it's going to be requesting for is the rows. How many rows do we want to move up and down whatsoever? I don't want to move any row. I'm gonna give it 0 because right now I want to be static on that. So we talk about the column right now. So the column is that how many columns do we want to move, and this column movement is going to be determined by the numbers we have appeared right here. So right now we are in the second number, which is this particular second column, field, and this is the field right here. So I'm going to actually choose this. And the next we're going to be doing right now is that every single time if we copy it down, we don't want this to leave this particular aspect, so we want to make it static. And what do we do to get that done? I'm gonna put my yeah, my dollar sign around the Y, because the Y is where it's sitting, so it's Y4, and the Y needs to be locked down and stuff like that. So right now I'm gonna actually have to say okay, cool. I'm gonna close that. If I hit enter right now, now it defaults to that particular 405, and I can go ahead and copy this down, and here we go, we have it nicely. So if we make a changes right now, we're gonna have it on 3. It changes to that because right now we have no values right on this particular aspect. Is giving us that is cool. So if we have to go for the last one, then there we go, we have it. So nicely done. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is just for we to copy this and just highlight the whole stuff and create our first chart for the analysis we want to make. So go to insert and hit on this particular type of chart, and beautiful, we have it right here. For now I don't need this, and neither if I need this particular grid line. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make it smaller just to fit into what we wanted. So I'm gonna actually have to Ctrl X and cut it away from here down to our dashboard. So we've just created our first visual to just get this done. Okay, Ctrl V will help us to paste it right here, and I'm gonna actually have to expand it down to this particular end. So now I don't need to color it brought down to this particular dashboard. I'm gonna actually make sure no color, because already I have my dashboard pre-formatted. So I'm gonna say no border as well. That is beautiful. We have something nicely like this. And the next we're gonna do right now is just to click on this particular aspect and have the color change to fit into our dashboard. So we might not really take care of this for now, but I think it is best if we can start doing this step by step so that we can actually get it done nicely. So beautiful, we can actually go and we see what we have right here. Cancel, failed, and if we go back to our main dashboard, the one we have gotten created right here, you can see a deadline year total suspended, and we can actually go and make a comment like this, but we don't want to go down there for now. Let us just create another part of this dashboard. So the next part of the dashboard we're going to create right now is this part that has dual functionality, where we can actually select goals or pledged, goal versus pledged, and pledged and goal. Not just that, but we're doing this. Let me just give a full screen of this. I'm gonna go to view, and I'm gonna take this off, and now I have the full screen. I'm gonna hide this away from our view right now, so it's gone. So what is going on right here is that we have this category, and on our category we have different categories. Just like if I pull the filter back, and now you can see what we have right here. We have various types of categories right here, and if I scroll down, we can see more of the categories. So we can't display everything at once, so we can now do this by and by, and show all the values that is peculiar to the particular category we have selected. That is why we have this right here. It changes the category for us, and we can still interact with this while we do that. How many filters? We have almost 3 filters on this, and we're gonna actually create that. So let's see. And there's one of the beautiful things I'm gonna show you about this, because if we don't do this, if we don't take proper care of this, it's gonna actually have to interfere with this, and our dashboard is not gonna work the way it should be. So let me show you how to do this without having any bridge of things done. So right now we're gonna go for the category and for the value that's peculiar to the categories. Okay, the next thing we're going to do right now is for we to insert another pivot table. I can go back to my data again and actually insert a new pivot table right here. Go to insert and click on pivot table, and I'm going to use my existing sheets to go right here, and that we have to get it down here. Okay, fine. We're going to analyze this by category. So we see our category right here, and after category, what do we do? We have to get the bakers down, the values of the bakers, then the goals, and the pledge down here, and now the goals versus pledged will be brought down as well. I think that is what we need. So we just use this as a guide. I'm gonna actually get it off right now. So we have something like this. Don't forget about our formatting that we've just done previously. It's very simple. We can actually quickly do that without explaining that again, except if you just actually click to watch here alone. So now, okay, and show in tabular form, so it shows the category, and I'm going to turn off the grand total, which is gone, and I have something very clean again. So we're just going to actually format this quickly to look very good, and here we go. Well, stand out. So I can actually close this for now because I don't need it. So I need two interactive stuff right here, and the first thing I want to actually add is actually what I call a scroll bar, and the second thing I'm going to add again is what I call this particular radio button that we have right here, just like what we have right on this dashboard. So I'm going to click on dashboard, and here like this. So let's see how we can actually get to achieve all this. Okay, fine. we go back to our dashboard and we have to start creating this. And the first thing I'm going to be doing is just for we to go with the scroll. I'm going to go with the scroll first, and you see where the scroll lies. So here we go. Just make sure you highlight or just put your cursor on it. It's going to give you the information about this. Is scroll bar form control. I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to have it right here for now, or for a meantime we're going to have it right here. And once we have gotten this right here, I'm going to right click on it and go to form control, and beautiful, we have this. So let me make you understand something. So we have how many data on this? So we have 15. If I highlight it, it's going to show us 15. So we're going to show 15. So we're going to minus 2 from 15 to make sure we have the last one shown from the first one. If we display 3, and when we want to display again, it's going to display under 3, and that set of 3, and that set of 3, and then that set of 3. But this is not how it should be. If you make the whole 15, it's going to give you some kind of empty value. But don't worry, you will understand this if you start working with this particular type of data, or any form of data that you're going to use scroll on. So right now the max, I'm going to make the max to be 13. So I'm going to show you what is going to default to if we make 15 in a jiffy. So the minimum is going to be the current value, and the min is going to be 1 all through, and for the page change is going to be 1 as well. So now I can actually go ahead and link this somewhere. I'm going to link it right here and name it something after I've linked it. So I'm going to name this because I want to actually know what it is that I have right here. I'm going to say scroll, or scroll bar linked. So I click OK, scroll bar linked right here. And for here now, I'm going to say option button linked. That is option. Oh good, I've actually clicked something else. I'm gonna go back. So I'm gonna say option. Beg your pardon, option button. So I have option button linked right here. Though we don't have the option button right now, but in no time we're gonna have the option button to come through as well. So now beautiful, we have just gotten this achieved as well. So what we need to do right now is to start to get this configured. So for the first time, I can actually decide to name this particular aspect right here. So for that, I'm going to turn on the formula bar and go to the top right here and actually have this name to something beautiful. I'm going to say cut underscore range that is category range. I think I have it named category range. It's optional. You can come and highlight it if you want to actually go start creating this, but this is what I want to have, and I want to have it start from here. Okay, I'm gonna go for the next line right here, and we start to create this from here using our function. So the first thing we're doing right now is just for you to copy the header away from here and actually place the header as a value, not as pivot table. So I'm going to place it as value. If we paste this, it's going to actually paste the whole pivot table for us. So for now, I'm going to be pasting it as value, and I'm going to highlight it down to the last one here, and I make sure I give it nice gap. Okay, for now we're going to be using what we call index to get this achieved. So index. And index is looking for the array, and the array is the whole one we have just got highlighted. I'm just gonna get this cut range, and you can see it dynamically, it highlights it for us. And now it's asking for the row, and what we're gonna do for the row, we're gonna provide it the row number, right? So for the row, we definitely provided this particular number right here. That is the number we're gonna have for the row. And what we're gonna be doing now is for we to log the number down by using this hash around the AI. Make sure you know where it is. So don't go and actually do this on the wrong path, else it's not gonna work. And after we have done this, look at the next step we're gonna take. Okay, I think would have been done, but when I copy this down and copy this across, so we're gonna use this particular plus rows right here. Plus rows, and I'm going to show you what plus rows does. So plus rows actually work this way. If we copy this down, it's going to copy all the way down without having to encounter any error. I'm going to say okay, that AK7 to AK7. So all you just got to do is just for you to press your shift, and then you'll get, sorry, yeah, for you to, okay, let me just do that again. So I say rows, and I click on this, and you press your shift key with this particular double quotation. Yeah, now that is exactly what it is. You have it right here, and I'm gonna close it. And not just that, if I have done this, I'm gonna actually go right here and log this particular first AK7 down, and that is beautiful. I'm gonna say -1. The -1 is gonna actually, okay, now include the first header for us. If you don't do that, there'll be problem. And the next thing I'm gonna do right now is for me to actually say use the word columns, and for me to copy this across the column, I will need to get this function used again. Okay, I'm gonna set AK7 to AK7 by your shift and this um quotation mark. So now what we have done is just beautiful. I'm gonna have to close this and close the next one again because we have two of it open. One is open right here and the next one is open right here, so we have to close all of them. So I'm gonna have to come right here again and have this locked down so that it can give us what we really want. So if I hit enter right now, we can see ad is being given to us. So what if I copy this across right here? It's beautiful, right? And now this is what it is. So how many do we want to show on our dashboard? I think we want to show like 3. Okay, let us look at the previous dashboard and see how many we just got shown. So the previous dashboard is this, and we show just 1, 2, 3. I think beautiful. We have shown 3, right? And this is exactly what we're gonna do right now. But the thing is this, we cannot go ahead and chat this right now, else it's going to look some kind of bulky and too clustered, and it's not going to give us what we really wanted. So if I go ahead and actually create the chat for it right now, oh, I don't like what I'm saying. It's not really awesome. That is why I always customize my dashboard. So for that, I'm going to go and do a very good customization. So what we're going to do right now, because we want to show it just like the way we are showing this right now, is what I want to do. That was why I said it has certain level of interactivity that we have to really go back and actually create something from. So the next thing we're going to do right now, we're going to go back right here and see how many are we going to show. We're showing 3 all at once, and this is what we're going to do. So let's see how it works. So for the first time, we're going to go back and insert something right here, and this is all we have to insert again. Okay, let me show you the downside of what we're about to do. If we don't do it the way it should be, it's gonna actually break this. So, and I'm gonna break it for you to see how it works. So I'm gonna go to developer again, and I'm gonna go right and select this particular button again, which is the option button, and I'm gonna have it right here and actually copy the name that is peculiar to all of them. So if I go back right here, you can see this is with sum, and as well we are having this with sum as well. Okay, let me go. We are having this with some so which I don't really like. I can actually go right here and actually click on control what I'm gonna click on control H, and control H is gonna come. I'm gonna type on sum of right here, and I want to replace everywhere we have sum of right here. I want to take it out and I want to replace it with nothing, and I just want to have baker, goals, pledge, and all that. It shows that okay, 4 of it had been removed, and if I go this way, we still have here existing. I can actually highlight this and as well do the same thing to it, and we have it gone. So now we can have a lighter uh description on anything we want to do. So that is beautiful. I can copy it away from here just like what we have done previously and have it on our dashboard, sorry, yeah, on this particular button right here, and this is exactly what we need to do. And I'm going to control V to have it pasted. You know what it is. So now it's done. And what the next thing I'm going to do right now is just to have it copied away from here. So we select it, then we copy it and double it and actually have other part of it right on it. Okay, I've actually gotten all the label on top of it. So, but look at what happened. There is some kind of ugly thing that's gonna happen right now. If I click on this and you see it's deactivated, and it's not gonna work on this again, except if I come back and click on this, and this one got deactivated. So, which means they're actually colliding, and I hate this to happen, right? So what we are supposed to do to have this problem solved? So I'm gonna actually have to have the right one on board, and the next thing I'm gonna do right now is just for me to click and see the level of where we have this. I think we can see it now. So I can go to the top level again and actually go to my developer and I go to insert, and when I click on insert, I'm gonna see something like this label control right here, and I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna bring it down to this Oxford. Okay, make sure I surround it to this. Okay, nicely. I have this label right here. Oh, sorry, it wasn't labeled, so I'm gonna take it off and show you what it is. I forgot this is what I'm supposed to use, this particular frame right here. I call it group box. So it's gonna actually group this particular hole for us. So we're gonna group it from where it's actually filtered. I think I have it grouped this way. And let me just go ahead and test it and see. Can you see that? It's been grouped for us. So we've just grouped this and it's not affecting this any longer. So if we click on this right now, it's going to work. Can you see that? It's working because it is being grouped. It's not moving this as well. So now, this you might have been thinking of how can I do this? Right now you understand how everything should be done. So this is beautiful. So right now, after that you've just grouped this, what are you going to do? You can actually start to write what you really want to write to get this done right here, right? So first of all, what we need to do right now is just to link this particular aspect right here. From control, I'm going to go right here. I'm going to say go link to the right cell. And we know what the right cell is. So here we have it. So I'm going to say, okay, fine. Now we have to actually make sure we have it, whatever we need right here to be here. So let's see how we can start creating this now. So for now, I'm not going to be having any business with this particular pivot table. My business is around here because if I change this number right here, it's going to actually scroll to another one. So it's fetching data from here. So for that, I'm going to actually have to link this particular one to the category expect at the top right here. And I'm going to copy this down. So nicely copied. And now I have to actually start to use this again. I'm going to say what is this that I've just gotten selected. So it's going to give me the index, and index is always the array. I'm going to actually have to select from here, and I'm going to go so comma, and I'm going to choose this one, just like what we've done previously. So we've selected Baker, which is this now, and we have to use our same offset again. I don't really need to explain this much again, but you know what it is that what offset does is starting from here. And if I hit on my comma, I'm going to say don't move any column whatsoever. And for the sorry, any row. So for the column, so you have to go by the number that is being chosen right here. And we know what it did. What it is that we did right here. I'm going to say unlock down, don't move anywhere. And that is beautiful. So we have this closed and hit enter. And now we copy this down. So we have it. Every single time we make a selection right here to be 2, it's going to give us what we have, right? Okay, if I have this to be on 4, can you see that? Oh, yeah, that is what it is. So now this is how everything goes. So this is moving, is moving what? It's moving from here. It's actually fetching data from here. While this is actually, this one is changing. This is what is changing right now. The category is changing. But if we go with this 2, what changes is the goal. This changes. This changes. It's moving this way, and this is fetching new data, and this is actually changing the value for us. Beautiful. We have just gotten something done like this. We can actually go inside and that set of what? Notice of chart again. I think I love this chart. I don't know why. I just love using this chart because it explains something beautifully for me. You already wanted it. I'm going to take off the the grid line, and now I can cut it away from here to my dashboard. I'm going to say Control X, so it's going to get it down to here for me. So Control V will help me to paste it down, and I'm going to actually have to bring it down and remove all the unnecessary stuff I have right in it. So I'll take it up this way, and I'm gonna make sure I take it up as well. Oh yeah, I click this, and I have this here, no fill, and I'm gonna say no border as well, no border. I can have color, I can, okay. I think I've got English because before I remember that I have to change the color of this particular ones right here. I can go ahead and actually choose the color for it. No, not body color, but the fill color needs to be changed, and I can go for something like this. Nice. So our dashboard is having shape right now. So if I actually make a change to it, it's gonna actually work. Now we're changing comic, craft, and dance. So we can come right here and change it. So it's gonna actually change. Can you see that? Craft, dance, and design. So I go like this, it's gonna actually change again. And I can actually say I want to see plot based on what we have just shown right now is working that way. And it might be surprising, but we don't really have this scene shown on this particular part of it on the dashboard. It's not really showing. So there is something like that that you can actually go ahead and actually take advantage of as well. You can actually get the black of this particular black that's surrounded it. You can get it off. So this is one of the beautiful things you can do. So I've got in the group Airway. So I can go ahead and actually get this. Go to insert, and I'm gonna go for this particular rectangle, and I'm gonna have to bring it down and cover it. So once I've done this, I can actually right click, um, go, And I'm gonna say for fill, I don't need any fill. But for this line, yes, I need the line on it, and I want the line to be thick, and the line should go keep going until it covers this. So I'm gonna actually bring this down. I'll bring this. Make sure I adjust it, and I have to adjust it as well. Okay, let's see, and I'm gonna make it more thicker. Okay, okay, nicely done. And then the next thing I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna actually have to make sure it's on white because I wanted to actually correlate with this as well. So I just want to show you how this is done. And I'm gonna have to move this up. I think as you can see now is well done, a job well done. And I'm gonna move this, bring this forward to the front. Yeah, it appears. So now this is what I've done. I've just gotten that hidden. So beautiful, right? So you can actually start interacting with your data right now. That is how everything should be done. So the next thing we're going to be doing now is just for you to actually get to create what we have right here. It's very simple. If you talk about it being simple, I mean, it has a lot of simplicity. It's good, nice, simple. So let's see how we can actually get that done before we actually start creating. I know what you guys are waiting for, but you're going to have it in a jiffy. So here is the next part of the dashboard. So I'm gonna actually hide this one away so that it cannot distort what we're actually trying to show right here. So we're showing this on the various months. So on this month, we want to say uh how many are cancelled, failed, live, and successful, and the suspended, and in the month, how what is the total? Because the total number of people that actually contributed some money or pledged some money and so or whatsoever. And we want to actually make sure we do this particular interactive dashboard right and show you everything that you need to actually get to do to actually make your own part of the dashboard to be very much creative. So now let's see how we can actually add this chat and shows us because we have a very when we select any month we don't see too much movement right on this because we have huge successful uh, transaction right here. So let's go and see how we can actually add this on our own right creation. So now here we are. So I'm gonna go on the sheet that is gonna take us to where we want to get right now. So we need to insert a new pivot table, right? But I don't think that is very important right now. We can copy a pivot table we already used right here. I'm gonna copy something like this because it's very small. You can copy it and paste it. That is very handy. We don't have to go and create a new pivot table over and over again. I can just come down right here and have this pasted here. Just Control V, just paste out, right? Paste Control P. So now that we have just gotten this pasted, so we need to change so many things. I can actually go and put it in, and I can deactivate everything we have right here and get this away from here. And we have a fresh pivot table. And now here we go. So we can start to customize the pivot table the way we really wanted it. So what we want to this pivot table right now is the status. And we want the month. We want the month. So before we go ahead and put the month, so what month do we want? So I think we want the deadline month, not the launched month. So we're gonna actually analyze our data with the launched month, but right now I'm gonna go with the deadline month right here. And here we go, we have it. Okay, fine, we have it to cross, right? But this is not beautiful because we don't want to work with this. So we want to work with month, but we don't have month existing right here. What are we going to do? It's just for we to actually right click on it and actually go to what? Go to group and ungroup. So we're going to ungroup this. So we ungroup the whole stuff and shows us in date. And we're going to have to regroup this again. Can you see that? So we just ungroup this and we have a long month after we ungroup this. But we can click on it again and actually right click and see how we can group the month again. We group the by day, by quarter, and by year. And if I click OK right now, it's gonna just get default to what you have just done. Okay, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes. So the next thing I'm gonna do right now is just for me to like, okay, I've just gotten a group like this. I don't need the deadline. How which is the date is gonna go off. I don't need a quarter. Neither if I need the year. So the year should be gone. So now I have them gone. I have the month alone. Because this is what I want to analyze my data with. I have the months alone. That is beautiful. We've just created something very nice. So if you don't know how to group and ungroup before, now you've just learned a new thing. So now, how do we want to analyze this? So we want to analyze it by some of bakers. And you know what bakers are all about. So bakers are just people that actually donated some money. So I'm going to go for the bakers right here. I'm going to bring it down. And now this is the sum of bakers. And we see in this particular part, we don't have any baker. It's not, there is no anyone that is live. So, but we have one live right here in July, and from January down to June, we don't have any number that is actually uh live. So we can decide to actually highlight the whole step and make sure we put it on a dollar, sorry, not on a dollar sign. So Control 1 will help us to actually do the number formatting right here. I'm going to say number, and the extra decimal should be gone, and I actually make a separation to be on it. So what we're going to do right now is just for we to highlight it down to this end and double click right here, and it fits it in without having that particular extra stroke whatsoever. So now we have something beautiful like this. So what are we going to do? We just have to create this. So I'm going to say equal to and have this step down right here. And I'm going to drag this down because I'm going to be creating a very nice dynamic chart right now, just like what we've done previously. And I don't want to go by this over and over again to start like, oh, this is what I want. So let's see what the final dashboard is talking about before we go ahead and create this. So we have this here that's going to help us through what we really wanted. And how do we get this here? This is what we call combo box. So we're going to get our combo box right here to help us to get this particular data. And for the combo box, this is what we're going to fill in it. This is exactly what we're going to fill in it. But I'm going to show you two ways to get it done. This changes, this is going to change as well. So let's go back to our one data set. So we have it right here. And now for the first way to get this right here, I'm going to actually click and highlight the whole step. I'm going to copy, Ctrl C to copy. So if I copy, I'm going to bring it down right here. And I want to make sure I turn it around, not this way out. Okay, I'm going to do that here. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go to paste pressure, and I have to transpose it. So I have it transposed. So now this will not change because it's not linked to any cell right here. It's not going to change when we have changes made to this particular part of it. But the next thing we're going to do again is just for we to highlight the whole step down to December and actually put our equal to right here and create an array function that's going to actually help us to do this. So once we've done that, I'm going to type in a function called transpose. So I'll hit the top key. So transpose, I click and actually copy it to December. And once I've done that, I'm going to actually have to close this because it is an array function. So what we're going to do right now to get this committed and actually work so fine is just for you to press our Control, Shift, and Enter. And here we have it. So the beautiful aspect of it is that we can delete it individually. If we want to delete it, we have to highlight it and have it deleted. So guess what? If I actually click on delete now, it's not going to go anywhere. So can you see that? That is beautiful. It's not going to work. So that is one of the beautiful aspect of it. So for that, I'm not going to use this. I'm going to get this off. I'm going to use it because this is linked. So if I actually click, it's going to highlight because it is linked to this. So if there's any changes, we're going to have the changes right here. So right now, what are we going to do? I'm going to go back to my dashboard and actually insert our combo box now. Okay. Okay, now we have to insert our combo box, as I've said. So we need to go insert a combo box right here. I'm going to click on developer, and from developer, I'm going to click on this particular combo box right here. I think we have the combo box here, and we're going to actually have to put the combo box here somewhere around here for now. Temporary, it's not going to be forever. I'm going to actually still have to adjust this. And now in the combo box, let's see what is going to happen. So font control is not like the other ones. So now, how many do we want to show? For now, I'm going to show 6. I'm going to show you why 6 and why we can show all as well. So if we want to have a 3D on it, so you can actually have it. So input is what we want to have inside this combo box right here. And now it is time for we to get to where we have the data. I'm going to actually move clay down to there. Well, here is our data. So now this is what I want to have inside the combo box, and we want to link this. So I'm going to go back and actually link it to the top right. Yeah, I'm going to link it right here. And now I'm showing just 6. If I click OK, and let's see what happens. So we're showing just 6, and here we go. What do we want to show all of them? So we have 12 months for the year, and I can say, okay, I want to show the whole 12 months. If I click OK, and now go make a selection. You see the whole 12 months is out. So just make any choice you want to make. If you have it on 6, make sure you so just know that you're gonna have a scroll through the remaining part of the month. So right now I'm selecting December. So I expect to see 12 right there if this is working well. Now we see 12 right here. So this is beautiful. This is what we need to do. So for the first time, just what we have been doing before, I'm gonna say index and see what month have we selected. And it's gonna be the month of, well, December. So if I hit OK, it gives me December. And if I go back and select something else, like selecting May, So it's gonna give us fifth month of the year, and it's giving us May. And the same thing we had done previously is what we're gonna do again is gonna be using the offset function to get the data we really wanted. And I don't have to talk about the offset again because I had talked about the offset over and over again. We all know how the offset works right now. So we need to actually get it logged down just for it to work so well. So that is beautiful. We can actually get it down like this. So nicely, I think it works fine. So when we change the month, it changes as well. So now this is what it is. So now we can create the kind of chart we really wanted. So I want this particular type of chart created. I'm going to go to insert and hit on my selection. So I'm going to go right here, and this is the chart I want to have on it. So nicely done. I'm going to get this away from here. And I'm going to make the chart a little bit smaller because I'm going to be taking it down to my dashboard. So Control X would definitely help me to cut it, and Control V will help me paste it down right here. Look at how small it looks. So I'm gonna make sure it sits down here. So beautiful. I love this. So we have something like this. So we're gonna be taking this away for now to the top level because we have not created an interaction yet to actually make sure we get this to the right spot. But for now, we don't want to actually get it started, so we're gonna actually move it down to this particular aspect. So we start to create this. The code is gonna actually help us to make it dynamic the way it truly should be. So now we have this right here. We can go ahead and see if this is really interactive. So once we have this change, it's just actual. Can you see that? It changes, so we can work with this, and we can change the color and stuff like that. Okay, fine. Let's see how we can actually get to fix things right now. We begin to fix things right here. Okay, now that we want to get the value, what we need to do is just to highlight this and duplicate it so that we shouldn't go ahead and create some kind of hectic work again for ourselves. I think that is nice. So I can now click on this and actually go right here and make a double of it, then actually go and see what is peculiar to it. Is this cell? And I have the numbers right crunched on it. So I have to do the same thing over and over again to get others right here, which is very beautiful. So make sure you always look at what you're selecting before you actually go ahead and actually mess things up and have a rank picker of anyone. So now I'm going for life, and life is 0. And if I go for successful, I'm gonna actually go on to successful and actually have it right here, and that we don't have anything for success. Okay, we have something for successful, and that is exactly what we have. So now we want to get this right here. We don't have to reinvent the wheel again. I can go ahead to my dashboard and have this copied from here. So I can actually go here and start copying. If I do that, let me just make sure. Okay, I copy this very one from here. I can just Control C, or you just right click and click and copy, and we go back to the dashboard to actually make some kind of snappy. We paste it right here. Control V will help us to paste that, and we can actually move it down here. Okay, this is how it is. So we have it down here, and now what we need to do is just for me to actually have to duplicate this and bring this down here. So for that, so once we've done that, so we just want to go for the total suspended. To actually go select it, and here we go. We have it right here. And let's see what we have with this right now. So if I make changes to all this, so it's going to actually get to change the value for me, and not because I don't want to show it right here and changes. And as soon as that successful transaction, the money sent to us for the project is actually much bigger than any of the paths. So that is why we have this. So I'm gonna go back right here and go for this and see what we have right here in the month. The total of the month is what we have, and that is not just the interactivity we have right on this, right? So I'm gonna go back to the dashboard we're creating. So every single time I make a selection right here, I want this particular month to be changing, and how am I gonna do that? So it's not really changing right now. Can you see that? It's not changing. I want it to change. So I'm gonna go back here and say months. So just use the quotation. I'm gonna say month, just capital letter, month. So under quotation again, and I'm gonna concatenate this. I'm gonna say month of. So we now do the concatenation by using this particular ampersand, and I have October right here. So now it's dynamic. I'm gonna go back and make a selection of this, and actually go and highlight the whole stuff, and go here and make a selection as well, and there we go. So every single time we make a selection right now, you can see that we have the month we selected up here, right here. Okay, now we need to get the value down to here. I'm gonna get the value here. So what is the total value? Okay, we don't have it yet now. I'm gonna create for that. So I'm gonna sum this, just sum the whole range here, and this is exactly what it is. So now I can go ahead and actually make sure I go to control 1. Control 1 will help us to do that. So we need to get the number formatting right. So I just crunch this and I go by this, nicely done, right? So I can go back to my dashboard and actually go highlight this aspect, highlight it, and go back here and pick this from here. So now this is beautiful. I think we have done something like this. So we're not gonna concern ourselves much about the formatting right now, as we're gonna do this in the Jiffy, just to make sure our dashboard looks very nice. Okay, I think we are almost far away from it being the best dashboard we had ever created on this channel, right? So what we created right now is this line chart right here, and what the line chart represents is something very simple. Let me just show you what the line chart represents. The line chart represents how many projects we have launched on the launch year. On every launch year, how many projects we have. That is what we're going to show right here before we go for the interactivity. And I'm not going to show you how to create this one because already I've shown you how this one works and what you need to do for it to actually have to collide with what we have right here and this one we have right here. So just going to show you how to have this achieved right now. So we don't have much work to do on it. So I'm just going to take it back. Okay, now let's go ahead and create that. So all we need to do right now is just to visit back here and we can go pick data from here to the pivot table and have it summarized and actually transform it the way we wanted. I'm going to go for pivot table and I'm going to go for the existing cells. Here I can click this and let me just move it a little bit. Okay, I can go here and I have it clicked and I just created my pivot table. I'm just going to go for lunch because we need the lunch month. So I'm gonna go for lunch year. So here we go. So exactly. So what we need to do now is okay, I can take this off now. Okay, I'm gonna take this off. I'm gonna go for lunch. Okay, this lunch is giving me both year, months, and days whatsoever. So I just want to get this away from here, no quarter, and I'm gonna say no year two now. It's gone. So I'm gonna select the year two and bring it across here. So right now I have my years, and I'm gonna just make a count of how many projects are within this month and the year. So this is exactly what we need to do. So I can actually close this now because I don't need it, and you know how the formatting is. So I'm just gonna do that quickly because already I had explained this to you the inception of this particular tutorial. So now here we go. We have something as clean as this, beautiful. So nicely done, and that's cool. So the next thing we're gonna be doing right now, if we look at our dashboard, we have some kind of level of interactivity on it. So which means every single time when I select the year, we have selected and displayed some few data for us that we can actually look at. Okay, in this year, this is how the project has been actually launched and stuff like that. So now this is what we're gonna go and create now. And I've shown you how to do this to make sure it does not interfere with what we have right here. But I'm not gonna do this uh, as your own presence. I'm gonna be doing this behind the scene and you'll see how everything works as soon as we are done with it. Okay, now what we need to do is just to have the chart created from here. We're just gonna create a chart and we're gonna actually create a chart with this. Forget about the interactivity for now because we've done a lot about that. And to just get this done and to show you a demo. So we have this right here, 2000. I'm gonna move this down here and I'm gonna move the month lunch, the lunch. Okay, serve that. Okay, it's gonna be equal to this and I'm gonna move it down. So now I can actually select this and go right and create my words. View this, sorry, insert, and I'm gonna insert the line chart this time around. I'm inserting the line chart. I love this line chart and I'm gonna get this one away from here. I'll go right here, I'm gonna get it off so I can make it small to fit into what I really wanted. And now I can actually get it cut away from here. I go to my dashboard and I have it pasted right here. I'm gonna say Control V. Control V, we have it to get this down right here, and I'm gonna go right and select the whole range. And now what I'm gonna do is double click on it. Once I have a double click done and I have this, I'm gonna actually deselect every border and field color from it. So now that's it done. So the interactivity is not really on it right now, except if we place a filter, the filter is gonna actually have to work. So I just want to make the dashboard a bit quick. So right now I can click on this particular aspect. Rather, I double click it and to have this back again, I can actually move it down to anywhere I feel like moving it to have a very nice visual of it. So click on it and go to the line, smooth line. So I have it smooth like this, and I can go ahead and actually change the color for it. So I can change the color to rhyme with what we're doing. So I have something like this, cool, right? So this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I love it. I think we're just gonna leave it by this way. So we've selected just 2013, but we're gonna make it interactive with the Jiffy. So the next thing we're gonna be doing right now is to see what we really have right here. Let me just go to my main dashboard to see what we have right here. So I love to create such amount of charts right here because it's beautiful, it's highly dynamic, and it shows us kind of hierarchy of how this goes and all that. So average amount pledged by the crowd. So average amount pledged by the crowd. So let's see how we can create this particular chart and see what it is that we have to achieve from it. Okay, we're going for average amount. So this is very simple. So we can actually just go and actually insert in your pivot table. We can copy from the existing one right here. I'm just going to copy the existing one and I'm going to copy. So go copy it. And you see, most of the work we had been doing, we had never created a chart from our pivot table. We always transform our data just to suit what we want. But right now, we're going to be creating a chart from our pivot table straight up. So I'm going to get it down here. And now I'm going to actually turn on where we can actually select anything we select. So, what have we just done? So this is not a pivot table. It's just a bunch of text right there. So we have to create copy from here, then we can now say we have a pivot table. So we can go back and actually have it pasted somewhere around here. I'm gonna paste it down here. Now my pivot table is back live, so I can actually go ahead and show the field list. Here we go. So I'm gonna take the launch year off it, and I'm gonna take the count away from here, and I take the year as well away from here. We have a fresh pivot table 12. So now what I need to show is actually the country, and month pledged is what I need now, the month pledged. And I want to turn this into an average, so I just need it to be average. Just click on it and go to average. Yeah, here we go. This is the average amount pledged, and I'm gonna go right here and select it, and I'm gonna do my control one right here. So let's see what we can do to have this nicely. So we go to number. I think right now I can go to currency. Average amount is no extra decimal. I can actually hit okay. So this is the average amount pledged in this particular country and this country. You can see that. So now what we need to do is just for we to actually get to do this. But there is some kind of weird thing that will happen if we don't know how to actually format our charts nicely to look well. So it's gonna look some kind of ugly. You actually have to hide it away from the view. Okay, get it away from here. Get it away, and actually have this turned off. So beautiful. We have something nicely done like this. So I can now get it to my dashboard and see how it looks. Does it look good? Does it look ugly? And stuff like that. So Ctrl X will help us to cut away this from here to our main dashboard. And we have a dashboard here. I'm going to Ctrl V to have it pasted. And somewhere around here, I'm going to have to close this for now because we don't need it. So we just take this up and we bring this down to this aspect here. And I don't really feel like liking what I'm seeing. So we have this view, and I'm gonna get this away from here. I don't find it fancy, but we can change the view like to what we feel like is cool for us. If I look at this particular finished dashboard, I always have this right here, and it's cool for me. I love it. So I have extra customization right on it. So we can do the same thing to this particular one as well. So do have extra customization. I'm gonna actually have to delete this away from here, and now I can actually make sure I make it smaller and double click on it, and I'm gonna have no border. I'm gonna go say no fill as well, and this is just cool, right? So once I've done this, what next am I gonna do? I just have to locate where we have this particular United States, And now I'm gonna go to the top level right here and hit on my insert. So once I hit on my insert, I can actually go right here and just check this and have this right here. Okay, fine, I got this here. I'm gonna say my equal to, and I go to the sheets and I have what here? So let's see what we have right there. Oh, sorry, I have the value, but I don't want the value. I want United States. I'm just gonna go back to it and I just go and I go for the United States. So here we go for the United States. So now this is what I'm trying to do, achieve. I have just achieved this, and I'm gonna copy this to this. I'm gonna make sure I align it to every part of it. You might be saying like, what are you doing? This make my dashboard to be some kind of stand out than what I just have previously. And all I need to do right now is just to change this to what it is. So before you do that, highlight it and say, okay, we have United Kingdom, and go for United Kingdom and pick it up down to here. So that is United Kingdom right here. You just pick it up and have it right there. That's exactly what you need to do to have them on. So I have gotten everything right here, so I just highlighted it, and I'm gonna go right here and choose the kind of font I really think is cool for it. I can now manipulate my font the way I feel like right now on the chart. I can make it bold, and here we go. We have something nicely done like this. I can just go ahead and change my chart color to whatever color I feel like I want to have on this chart. So you can see beautifully, I think I have something like this that actually correlates to this. So if I don't feel like it, I can actually go ahead and change it to something that suits my type of dashboard. And I'm gonna go right here and actually make sure I make this. Okay, fine. Let's get it down. Yeah, I think I love something like this. Beautiful. I can go ahead and actually have my words. I'm gonna have my number or label on it. So inside is where I want to have this. So I can actually click on this, and you can see extra information right here. When I click right here, I can see where I want to move this. So I'm just gonna move to the center. And if I want to move it to the inside, I think I can have it inside this just like this. I think the beautiful is outside base. Whatever you want to do, just make sure you keep playing with it and see which one actually fits right. I think this one sits down right, so what I really wanted, I can actually make it bold and come ahead right here and actually give the color to it. So I think beautiful. So now you can actually make it bigger and it appears very well. Can you see this? So now it's dynamic. So when we place our filter on it right now, we're gonna see the changes. That it looks so nice than actually leaving it just like that. So that is how I just got that created. So the next thing we're gonna be doing right now is for we to actually create this particular final charge right here. Beautiful. We are almost close to the fag end of the dashboard, and the interactivity is gonna actually come up. We'll see how we can actually use the animation part of it. So let's see what we have right here in the previous dashboard to see how we can actually get that created. So what we're trying to show right now here is actually when we select a particular country, we want to see the amount pledged in that country, how much is we've made in that country, and because the numbers of people who actually pledged that particular amount and to the project in that particular country, and as well the top project as well. That is exactly what we want. So I'm going to click on Australia. So if I click on Australia right now, here is Australia. In Australia, we have this it's 8 million pledged, over 8 million pledged, and we have over 1,000 uh, God, as in bakers, and we have 1457 projects, and we have this amount of the highest, which is the highest money we received, and this is the project that will receive the money, and that's the top project with high bakers whatsoever. So right now, every single country we select, we get its own analysis. That is what we want to do, and this is gonna be so much interesting. So what I'm gonna do right now is that I think I'm cool with this analysis I'm seeing right now. I can actually go ahead and see how we can actually create our own from the scratch. So with the United States on view, I'm going to actually have to close it and see how we can actually get to start to create ours from the scratch. So this is very simple to be created. So we're just going to go back to our analysis sheet, and I'm going to go right and copy this from here. I don't need to go back to my data again to start copying this. And I'm just going to have to paste this right here. And now I've actually recreated this. So I'm going to go right here and actually make sure I put the activation of field list on. So right now I've got in this. So I need country, and the amount pledged is that is the pledged, and the bakers. I need them right here as well. So I've gotten this. So right now, immediately I'm going to add my filter right on it. So I'm going to be adding the same country filter. I'm going to go to analyze, and from analyze, I'm going to go to filter, and I'm going to pick on country and I say okay to it. So right now, I have a country right here. What I'm going to do right now is to transform a country into something else. So I'm going to go right to this option and make sure I have the country there. Oh, sorry, I have category right here. I'm so sorry about that. What I needed was country, not actually a category. I'm going to go for my country. If I click back right here, I'm going to go to pick my country filter. Okay, slicer, and I'm going to go locate for country. I think I have country right here. I'm still some kind of surprise, like, why do we have so much? Okay, fine, we have it here. I'm gonna go option, and we have to make sure we split it. So we have it on one particular row. So exactly this is what we have. So right now we have something like this. That's not looking right. Okay, fine. Now that we have this, what we're gonna do right now is just for me to right click on it and go to slider setting. And I'm gonna say, okay, hide any one that does not really have any data. And after doing that, the header is gonna be hidden. And if I say okay to it, that is all we need. So I can actually go right now and pick one. So it's going to be selecting one. So we can't clear the field that. Is exactly what we want to actually add right now. So for the first time, I'm going to get this down to my dashboard. I'm going to say Control X to cut this away. And when I get to the dashboard, oh, yeah, I think it's Control X. Control X we cut. Oh, we just did the wrong thing. Okay, it's gone. And that we have to actually paste it right here. Control V, we have it pasted. What is going on? Control V. Okay, we can't find it again. So I'm gonna go back and actually make sure I bring it back. So Control Z will help us bring it back. So I can actually go and do it this way. I'm gonna cut this and that we go back here. And I'm gonna have to paste it down here. Control V is gonna help us to have it pasted. So we get what we want here. And I'm gonna actually have to place this right here for now, temporary, before we actually have to do the very big magic. So now that we've just gotten this done, so we need to get the values right here, but we have to get the top value we have right here on this. So let me just go ahead and actually recreate something right here. And it's very simple. We can create this very simply. I'm going to say copy, and after I've done the copying, I can actually go right here and actually have it to paste here. So now we've pasted it here, and I'm going to remove this. Uh, yeah, now I have to put my pledge. I have to put my pledge right here, and I have to go ahead and actually select from here. I don't want the filter to have effect on this. I'm gonna go right here and actually deselect the filter. Go to analyze and go to filter, and the control filter is gonna go off it. So now it's not gonna actually work on this. I've taken the control filter away. So for that, I have to clear it from here, and the filter is being cleared. And the next thing I'm going to do right now, we want to see it. Oh, sorry, have it back. So I want to take the country away. I want to have it on the name of the project. So I'm going to bring the name of the project down. It's going to take a little while to have it here. Okay, here we have it. We have the names of the projects. Just gonna have to close this right now. So we have the names of the project. So I'm gonna actually go this way. I can make it smaller. We don't need to actually have it some kind of too huge. So we have names of the project. We have plenty of projects, but right now we want to get a top project. So we do. So we have to rank it to the top right here. I'm gonna say, uh, okay. I'm so sorry. It seems I'm forgetting something. Okay, fine. Gonna go right here and start it from what? From A to Z or whatsoever. So not starting from A to Z. So it's for me to actually sort. I'm gonna go and sort from the largest to the smallest right here. And I'm gonna go for the largest to the smallest. So it's gonna take a little while to actually get done. So as you can see, we have just gotten this sorted the way it should be. So now we have sorted this, and here we go. Finally, we have this. So what I need to do now is just for me to actually create what I want to create from here. So I'm gonna go with this. Okay, I can go with the header first. I'm gonna go with the header. So to go with the header, you know what it is. Just click on this, and I'm gonna copy this down here, and as well, I'm gonna copy it down. So I've just got my tab right here. So now here we go. I've gotten this what I have created. So every single time the filter changes, it shows me which one is the tab, so we can create it something like this. It's not gonna break it. We don't have much interaction that is gonna actually break this. Else I would have created a formula that can actually help us to do this. So beautifully. So we need to actually get this down right now and see how interactive it could be. So we need to get the country dynamically right here. So this is not dynamic right now. I'm going to change it to something very dynamic. So I'm going to actually have my equal to right here and click on this particular country being selected. I'm just going to go right far here. So the country being selected is United States. And now I just click on OK. So now if I select Canada, it's going to actually default to Canada because I have Canada on selection. So I'm just going to give it some kind of, I'm going to go right here and actually give it the same color. So different formatting. So now we have it beautifully done. So if I select Netherlands, it's gonna give me Netherlands. So right now I need to get a value that is peculiar to this right here. So now we need to get it to top acres. So I'm gonna copy this down to just get it to top acres. Right, I'm gonna copy this down, and right here I'm gonna go for equal to, and I'm gonna go for the analysis. Now here we have it. So we have this. So I don't need dollar sign for the total bakers because it's not actually uh an amount or a phone whatsoever. I'm gonna go for number formatting. I'm gonna actually quickly change this to number, and the extra decimal is gonna go off it. I'm gonna hit OK, and here we go. So if I go back again, I can see that okay, for amount pledged, I'm gonna actually have to double this. I'm gonna double this. Okay, once I have double that cell, I'm just gonna go right here and copy the cell thing. Amount pledged is this, and here we go. We have this, and total project is actually gonna be this. Total project is what we need to actually get right here right now. So we have not analyzed the total project yet. So for we to get the total project, so let's see what we can do. I can go right here and actually go to, I'm gonna scroll this level down here. So now we need to create it right to the top right here. I'm just gonna say equal to count A. So make sure you're not gonna have anything again that's gonna actually have to add more numbers to this. So I can actually go ahead and select this whole range. Sorry, this whole range right here downwards. If the project accumulated, it's actually gonna actually have to add more to it. So I'm just gonna close this and say -1. And the reason why I'm having -1 right now is that this header is not the project, it's just the header. So if I actually hit on my equal to, I have my total project right here. You can see that is how it is. So every single time the filter changes, it's gonna actually get the change along with the filter. So let's see what's gonna happen. And now I can go get my total project right here. That's how I used to get them. So go here and select and enter. So I'm gonna go back and actually give it a nice formatting. So I'm gonna do my control 1 as usual. So I'm gonna say number, the extra decimal is gonna go off it. Then now I have my separator. If I go back, I set it nicely down. So right now, what I need to get right here is for me to actually get this particular top project right here. So I'm getting my top highest projects right here. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna get the fresh inserts, go right here and bring this fresh left for the first time. Now here we go. Now we need to get it right here for a reason. I'm gonna say equal to, and I'm gonna go right. This is the top project. So it's very low. So I'm just gonna go right here and fit it in and actually make it smaller. Then we cut some part of it down. Exactly. We want something like this. So every single time we have very long text, it's gonna actually get the default to this, something called like this. I can go ahead and change the text color. I don't want some kind of, I think I want it to be some kind of cool as this, right? I can actually make sure it's actually on italic, and this is it. So right now you can see it responds to our filter. I'm just going to choose Canada, and here it's going to change, and as well the project type is going to actually change. If I change to New Zealand right now, oh, it's going to change. So it's not changing yet because we don't have a filter on it. So I'm just going to quickly go back and actually have a filter on this. Go right here and place the control filter on this. I'm just going to say socket filter connection. I want the control filter to be activated right now. If I say OK, and here is what we have. So it's working right. So now if I go back to Australia, I'm going to choose Australia, and it's going to give me Australia, the top project in Australia. So right now what I need to get right here now is just the value of the top project. So I'm just going to bring this down right here, and I'm going to go right here and actually make equal to build it, and I have the value that's peculiar to that. So now here is the value, and the value is going to be on the dollar sign. So I'm just going to make sure I have this copied from here. Just go here and actually go and copy the format and have it on it. Okay, fine, nicely. So we have this format and it's you can actually make sure you expand it so that the value